Welcome back to the next episode of Helmet to Headset. We're starting off this week in college. We're going to go through practice, position battles, trying to work our way up to be the starter at North Carolina. Before we get into practice or anything like that, we're going to take a look at upgrading our player. So I think I mentioned in the last video I was able to pre-order the game. Because of that, I get to start out with a little bit more skill points. So I'm going to be able to upgrade my player before I ever even step onto the field. Alright, so we were able to upgrade our player's accuracy a little bit, upgrade the IQ, get that awareness up. That's going to make our overall a little bit higher. We also did a lot of boost to our quickness. We're working on making our player the best dual threat that he can be. So as you can see, we're already up to an 82 overall before we've ever stepped on the field. If we go over to the depth chart, we can take a look and see that being an 82 overall actually puts us in position to already be the second best quarterback on the team. And we're only 2 overall points from being better than Gio Lopez, the starter for North Carolina. Alright, so we're going to jump into practice. It's the very first practice of college. What we can do is we have a couple of choices here. We can do a skill drill. We're trying to earn bronze, silver, or gold. We do something like pocket presence, trying to hit targets. Or we can do some sort of team practice, which is going to involve hitting certain guys on certain routes or running different option plays to continue to get better running the ball and throwing the ball. Starting out, I'm just going to do the pass skeleton. It's just simple throwing routes to receivers. Our goal is to get gold, obviously. The more points we get, the more we're going to be able to progress our player. So we've got 1 minute. Each play has a sack timer. We have to get the ball out within 6 seconds. Clock stops after we make a completed pass, and so we're trying to get as many points as we can within a minute. You can see up in the top right we have a multiplier. That is going to go up the more consecutive completions that we make. So really the most important thing here is that we're just completing passes. We're not necessarily trying to throw deep. We're not necessarily trying to score on every play. We're just trying to make sure that we're completing passes so that we can get that multiplier higher, and that's just going to be able to get our score even higher. Every now and then we have to use the playmaker option. We're not able to hot route these routes before we snap the ball. So sometimes depending on where you are on the field, you just don't have any good routes to throw to. So you just got to force your receiver to come back and just try to get something to him. So we didn't have a single incomplete pass the entire time, but we only got up to silver, and we really weren't even close to gold. You can see that getting the bronze, silver, or gold is going to increase your coach trust, which is just going to help with things like being able to play, being able to fight for position battles, opening up the playbook to be able to call more plays when you're on the field. So pretty much after practice, you go into the weekly agenda. This is where you can use these energy points. The energy points that I have for the week right now are 7. So you're going to want to pay attention to academics. You're going to want to pay attention to leadership. If your health is low, you're going to want to increase that. And then XP is where you can spend those energy points so that you can increase your skill points, which is how you make your player better. You can also add those points to your brand, which just increases the amount of fans that you have and stuff like that. One thing you definitely don't want to run into is your academics falling behind. If your academics get too low, you can actually lose your spot and get kicked out of school. I always like to, especially on my weeks off, where I don't have a game that I might need to spend it on health or training or something like that, I always like to spend a lot of my points on academics on weeks that I don't have games. Another thing that I really like to try to do is to up my leadership, and so I'm probably, with my last 3 points, going to bump up 1 more academic and 1 slot towards leadership. You're going to get the opportunity to do this exact thing before every single game, and so again, on weeks that I don't have a game, it's really nice to just funnel it into academics so that once we're in the middle of the season, we can focus in on other things without having to worry about our academics falling behind. Oh, and here we go. Okay, so right off the bat, going into week 1, I am already in a position battle for QB2. So we're going to get to see that position battle pretty much right away. So here's an interesting situation. They kind of give you these opportunities to interact with teammates or classmates, and it affects different things. So you can see here the tight end Jake Johnson says, hey, the upperclassmen are going to this party after the game this week. All the freshmen have to stay after and clean up the locker room. And he says he's not going because he's got a community service thing the next morning so he can help. So we have two options. We can refuse, which is probably going to affect something like our leadership ability, or we can choose to stay and clean. Now, if we do that, which is probably the correct choice here, that's going to take away 2 of our energy points for the week. So there's a right and wrong answer, but there's also going to be pros and cons to each choice that you make. So I am going to choose to stay and clean, even though it's going to take away 2. I think it's probably more important to try to be a good teammate right now rather than trying to keep those energy points. So here's my academic advisor. You have to keep your GPA above a 2.0 or else you could get suspended. Here's a note here that I've chosen a difficult school. I'll have tests to prepare for and exams on weeks 8 and 15. And it says do not procrastinate. So you do not want to not focus on your academics leading up to week 8 and then spend weeks 7 and 8 really cramming the academics, because you're not going to score well on your tests, which is just going to hurt your GPA. The good news is that if you can maintain a 3.7 in your freshman, sophomore, and junior years, you can graduate early, and then your senior year, you don't even have to worry about academics. So that's probably going to be our goal. All right, so this is really interesting. We're going to get a position battle before week 1 even starts. We get the opportunity to battle to become QB2 and be second on the depth chart heading into my freshman year. All right, so it looks like we're going to be playing 3 different games. I have to win 2 out of the 3 games in order to level up to being QB2. This is the scramble survive. What we're going to have to do is we have to escape the pocket. We have to buy time until the time to throw meter runs out, which is 3.5 seconds, and then we throw to an open receiver. There's hot spots on the field that we can use to earn a little bit more points. We score a touchdown, it increases our multiplier. Get sacked or throw an interception, and it's going to reset that multiplier. So we're going to snap the ball. We have 3 seconds to get out of the pocket. We can hit these hot spots. Oh boy. We're going to throw that. That was a nice bullet. I really want to try to get both hot spots on these throws. That's just going to help. But man, these defensive linemen are a lot faster than I feel like they were last year when I did this. Oh gosh. I almost got there, but we don't want to throw incomplete as well. This is kind of scary. There we go. There's a second touchdown. So we got 2 more chances here. I'm going to roll out and hit that. Can we get back to the other one? Yes, we do. Oh, yeah. Now that was perfect. We hit both hot spots. We threw a touchdown. We're already in the bronze. This is our last rep. Boy, it'd really be nice if my offensive lineman came with me. Alright, well, we ran around like crazy, and we got it. We did beat the score to beat, so if we win this next one, then the third one doesn't even matter, but we're going to be doing the option attack. Our score to beat here is just 5,000 points. So we basically just have to hit bronze and go just past that. 30 seconds left, so we're halfway through, and we're not halfway to the score that we need. You can see touchdowns just give you a huge increase. We're going to keep that and score again. Alright, so that did it. So that puts us over 5,000 points, and we've already got this challenge beat. Alright, so we won 2 out of 3. We're still going to do this third one. Pocket presence, we just have to stay in the pocket, dodge the little projectiles that are coming at me, hit the targets. Oh, I just ran right into it. Well, it's a good thing we won the first 2, because that was a rough third game, but you can see we won the position battle. We get a big boost in coach trust, and now we're up to being the second quarterback on the depth chart. So the position battle counted as our practice for the week, so now we just go into our weekly agenda. Keep in mind we lost 2 points because of our answer, so we've only got 4 energy points this week. Even though I'm QB2, I'm still going to go in and play the game, because I had a situation last year where I just simulated a game and realized afterwards that the quarterback got hurt, And so I actually came in and played for like a quarter in that game, and I totally missed my first ever appearance in college because I just simulated the game. So we're going to go into the game. We're playing at TCU week 1. I'm going to go into it. It's probably just going to simulate through the entire game unless something happens to the starting quarterback. So we're just going to go in, simulate through, and see what happens. So we walk away with a victory in week 1. I don't know if the position battles are solely based on overall. So I don't know if I need to pass Gio Lopez in overall to get the opportunity to position battle, or if it just has to do with performance, or if it's just totally random. So we are going into practice. I want to take another shot at the pass skeleton, see if we can hit silver before the end. Might have to take a shot right here. And he drops it. Alright, so we're just shy of silver. We only get bronze. It's even worse than last time. Playing an FCS school, I'm going to go play the game again. You never know what could happen. We also have the chance playing an FCS school that we could blow them out, which causes them to put the backups in, and we could get our chance to come into the game. Okay, so here we are. We're starting the 4th quarter, and we're getting a chance to come into the game. We have a 28-0 lead. So it looks like we only have 2 plays at our disposal. You see we have our teammate grade up there at the top, and we don't even have the ability to make hot routes or audibles at this point. We fumbled at the goal line and turned it over. Man, and you can see our coach trust dropped quite a bit from that one play. Probably going to get to play pretty much this whole quarter. So what I just did, you do get the chance, it looks like you get 3 per game right now, that you can actually change the play. And so it does give you the chance to switch out those 2 plays that you have to choose from. But still interesting, no chance of audibles or hot routes before the play starts. Incomplete pass. I'd really like to at least get in the end zone, give me a nice little boost. God, I really wish I could hot route. Got this guy on press coverage, one-on-one on the outside. If I could move him to a go route, that's probably a touchdown. We'll try that one though. Boom. In the bucket. We're going to get another crack at it. Let's see if we can maybe go score another one. Go get it. Oh, yeah. Another deep touchdown. A minute and a half. Let's see if we can throw a 3rd touchdown this game. Nice. Good run. Get out of bounds. Go get it. Good throw. Oh, good move. Get out of bounds. No. Oh, yeah. Well, he does anyway. We can no huddle, which is a little bit of a workaround to only having so much access to the playbook. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Try to make something happen, and that was bad. Would have probably put together a really nice game had I not thrown that interception there at the end. All in all, 2 deep pass touchdowns, 171 passing yards, 48 rushing yards. Can't take the hit and take the fumble. Can't throw that interception. Other than those 2 things, that's a pretty good game 1. Okay, so here's an opportunity. We're talking to a classmate. Sorority's throwing an initiation party and is inviting me to come. Skipping our lab, saying we should too. We can skip the lab, which is take a risk. We can skip the lab, stand her up, and go with her sorority sister, which would also be a risk. What I'm going to ultimately do, I'm just going to decline. This is what's really important to my college football experience. We get a message from the academic advisor. We have a big test coming up this week asking if we want to come in and study. We can choose not to study a little moderately, or study a lot. depending on how hard we study, we're going to lose energy points in doing that. I've been putting a lot towards my academics. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to study moderately. We do have a bye week this week. So now you can see we've passed Gio Lopez on Coach Trust. We'll see if that means anything as far as a position battle. Wow, okay. We passed Gio Lopez for Coach Trust. And so now we're going to get a chance to battle for QB1 after only 3 games in our freshman year. So here's we can decline or we can go to the event and it costs 1 energy point. I think I'm going to do that. I'm trying to work on my leadership a little bit. And so I think going to the event will help with that team chemistry aspect. And you can see that it does. So here we go. Our practice for the week is going to be this position battle. Let's see if we can win 2 out of 3 and become QB1. Need to beat 9,000 points in the pass skeleton. Good catch. Probably 1 more completed pass will do it. There it is. So we win the first game. Alright, option attack. We're going to have to get 15,000 points. We just did this in practice and couldn't do it, so... It's killing me that these guys won't make a move and get past a defender. Get upfield and make a block, and it still doesn't matter. You still can't get past the one guy. There's a good move. Oh my gosh. We had our multiplier going, we made the wrong read, and that probably cost us. And we score on the last one. So we lose game 2. It's all going to come down to the one that we just beat in practice, the scramble survive. Can we do it? We got to beat 15,000 points. He stopped running. He had so much open space and he just stopped in the back of the end zone. We had 2 great attempts and they were both dropped in the end zone. Alright, good one here gives us a chance. We are running for our lives. Oh my gosh, and he dropped it again. In the last game, we had 3 touchdown passes that would have won us that challenge that were dropped in the... Oh, man. So we have a lot of coach trust, a lot of coach happiness. It's definitely a good sign that, 3 games into the season, we were able to go ahead and get a position battle for QB2 and QB1. But man, we really should have won that position battle. Well, I think I'm going to stop the video there. We got a big game coming up against number 7, undefeated Miami. I wish we had a chance to start that game. We were so close to winning the QB1 battle. But I think we're on the right track. We're going to get there soon. That's just a really tough one to lose there. But thanks for watching. Follow me here on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Twitch. I'm going to start live streaming as well soon. Make sure to follow me at Little Newt Gaming. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.